know, I reckon half the corpses in here. I miss little Chompy. I hope he's getting enough to eat.
I've heard of this strike. Workers strike their employer to death. It's not cathartic.
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
That's right, folks. Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker. Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? We're causing trouble. We just found out that we're basically slave labor. And now we're learning to stand up for ourselves. We need the proletariat to yield to, worker subjugation by xenophobic proxy? No, that ain't right. But it's something that sounds super fancy when Will explains it. Honestly, we just want to eat, sleep, and relieve ourselves on a reasonable schedule. But the damn overseer, I think she's getting rich off of breaking our backs. I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor. That's right, folks! Keep the chanting going! I can see the overseer up in her office, and we're definitely making her miserable!
So, you're sent by the home office.
No more
Can't you see
bottles
I'm
on
busy
factory
trying to
floor!
be busy?
Time
You
for
got
unlocked
some
bathroom doors! Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12 hours a day!
Whatever it is you're after, go looking for it somewhere else.
Put it in a memo.
Ever read the Middle Manager Handbook?
Can't you see I'm on the clock here?
Shores up the foundation of your fundamentals.
Let's not waste each other's time.
You seem like a go-getter. Let's consume lunch sometime.
Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to pay for our own necessities. They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stems we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Can't imagine what. Ain't like you could fix all of Auntie's Choices hierarchy by your own self. I don't think you could even change this one dumpish overseer ruining our lives. Now, if you'll excuse me. Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? Well, then, best of luck. Now, if you'll excuse me.
So I'm clear, we're not sneaking in to kill someone? Yes? No? It's so hard to tell with vent usage.
On adrenatime and antiphysos numrum. Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Unsophisticated, impertinent, dim-witted. You'll fit right in with my peons. So, maybe it'll make sense to you when they babble about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice, and if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences. Nevertheless, here we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work, and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule? Or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only within Auntie's Choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Auntie's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon.
This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer? Dumley? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
The beauty of the corporatist ideology rears its ugly head.
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? Well, be quick about it, damn it.
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Then what in law's name are you doing here? Well, that certainly is unexpected. And potentially wonderful. Assuming, of course, you can actually help us. Auntie's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor labor retention techniques? What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right. Exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts. which requires stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work. Right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're non-nickelpads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs.
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Auntie and I continue to have high hopes that you will come to shine under the spotlight of our illustrious gaze. So, are you ready to impress us? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour work days? 12-hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility, consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. A lunch break, you say? I suppose that might be a compromise I could make. It would still be a black eye on my sterling reputation, but at least it would get them back to work. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. And more work means more profit. More than enough to cover the cost of the stims. I see your angle now, and it certainly is a shrewd one. You are Auntie's material for sure. Done. Is there more they ask? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Somewhere? Oh, that actually explains the odor in storage room 3. I never imagined they might be... I'll get the door unlocked immediately, and cleaning crews dispatched. What more do they want? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? I suppose it's better than nothing. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair cream now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her ankles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all. It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
I suppose that ended well enough. But this negotiation would have been much more succinct if one party had simply inflicted grievous bodily harm upon the other.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work. You may... Welcome back, Ameliorator. Have we finally reached the end of this little drama? Are my workers resigned to doing their jobs and returning to the factory? Well, be...
Hello again. Do you have... That's as fine a place to start it. A most promising development. She willing to see reason? What's next? Excellent. Well,
Yeah, but I'll...
Nick? Now.
I suppose that ended well enough. But this negotiation would have been much more succinct if one party had simply inflicted grievous bodily harm upon the other.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
I believe our group's combined efforts are in direct accordance with the plan. The presiding bishop is waiting for you.
Entry granted.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order.
The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential Order personnel.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
Behave yourself in there.
Laureate Craft sent ahead. You're free to come and go.
Those fools! Those fools! Damn them! Damn them all! You, don't you know what's happened? Do you have any idea? Heard about the coup? Yes, I dare say I did. I dare say I knew the moment it happened and was powerless to stop it. The traitors will pay dearly for their deeds. Oh, yes, they will pay. I've proudly served the Protectorate my whole life. Now look at it. Traitors from without, traitors from within. It's enough to make an old man despair. That consul, I never trusted that miserable bastard. His betrayal is so galling, I'd almost care to join the armed forces to bring him to justice myself. But my hands quaver with age, and the Sovereign has tasked me with my own duty. I must see it to completion before all else.
That scum! That miserable scum! To think he would stoop so low as to overthrow the Sovereign! I shall not rest until the Consul pays for his treachery and Arcadia's rightful ruler is reinstated. This is more than mere anger.
should cause us no problems now that we've acquired the project.
Just a solvent base is so low. Sure, don't take my confidently.
dictates, we rout all disruptive influences.
The Archive's entryway bristles with Protectorate weaponry. In a direct assault, I'm not sure I would even fancy my chances.
Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
I've got you covered, but I'd like to remind you that being set upon by an unexpected whirlwind of violence is also a great way to undermine a fighting force's morale.
Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Prudence dictates, we repel invasive elements.
Whatever you say, Commander.
You are the raw material for perfection.
The scientician's surplus. No more than what you need.
specifically. In the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the cube.
Every day. The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer, just to be clear. Not as concerning as some of the scenes I have been called to in the middle of the night. I assure you, the warning is justified. But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
How did your hypothesis about the flower...
Hello, layperson.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
You have served us with distinction.
Breaking into water reconditioning, are we? Someone has a good nose for trouble, it would seem. Let's call me a potential associate, a friend in waiting. I work at the CAF integration point normally, but I have other ties. More suspicious than breaking into an order-regulated facility? We can talk more, but not here. We might attract unwanted attention. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps?
Enjoy your time in the garden.
Ah, it's you, prime mover of the grand plan.
For
pity's sake, is it... Industrial science is mostly theory, they said. You won't have to put your knowledge into practice for years, they said. Now the fountain's broken and I can't... Useless. I'm useless. We had an avalanche recently, not far from the dome. One of these fountains stopped working around the same time. Stands to reason something must have been jostled loose. I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. But I've never had to put my knowledge into application before. It's not going well. You must be an agent of the architect. The panel here controls the intake and outtake for the fountains. I'd start there.
Say, practical applications. Maintain security. In fact, our archive is primed with that weakness. The archive allows file numbers for storage and retrieval.
Oh, praise the architect. I hear water running. Come see, it's beautiful.
Its calculations maintained by such. But if you strive
Your
to
efficiency
become
has
humanistic
improved my
researcher, there are
efficiency.
several open questions in the area of quantum. One such question is this: is every given member of the set entity of science the sum of
I hear you're our new problem solver.
A second makeup exam will...
Shh! If I'm caught talking during this makeup exam, what does it matter? Can't mark the occipital from the parietal with these voided questions. And is there something wrong with the air recyclers? It's getting hard to breathe. Oh, good. Just me then. Can't believe my future in the Order will be decided by an understanding of the vaporescent properties of trinitrotoluenes. I don't even like bitrotoluenes. My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. I'm sure I'd recover my wits enough to tackle the rest of the test if you can just help me make sense of the first question. Just be discreet, won't you? Is that what it means by categorizing by propellant attributes? By the architect, that question could have been phrased more clearly. Plan favor your endeavors. You don't know how much you've helped me. The rest of this exam will be rocket science, metaphorically speaking. Stashed a few, learning tools on the balcony of Cap Integration Point where I like to study. They're all yours. Just hop the short wall near the serving area. And thanks.
Wish I'd had someone like you swoop in during my explosive certifications. Might have kept my eyebrows.
Hello, layperson.
What a lamentable... I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. the fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Oh, so it is. How the plan provides. I suppose you had something to do with that, Yes. I ascertain a great atmosphere of accomplishment about your person. Perhaps the plan has united us in this narrow continuum of space and time in order to solve for another irksome conundrum. I knew you had a knowledgeable look about you. That would be wonderful. Thank you, dear. There's a panel just here. I will supervise from a respectable distance, but know that I am with you in theory, like the architect's own guiding hand. And so there was light. My sincerest thanks. I will be sure to extol your virtues to the laureates the next time we speak. And here, a little treat for your effort.
Well, hello. Likewise. You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. One could make that argument, and obviously have. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Took you long enough to ask. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Thankfully, you've already accessed the facility, so we needn't bother the Oracle Laureate for a keycard. That would have been a fairly risky proposition, to say the least. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
Hello. Welcome to Kef Integration Point. I'm Junior Caffeine Celebrant Runge, and I'll be happy to assist you today. Oh, she's a real top-of-class type. Smart, but also patient. I struggle sometimes with my advanced courses, but Persephone's been tutoring me after work hours. I'm just glad she doesn't mind teaching the same lesson twice. Anyway, I'd hate to waste any more of your free study period with my idle thoughts. Anything else I can help with? Apologies. As a junior celebrant, I'm only permitted to distribute caffeine at this time. But my colleague, Persephone, Miss Doyle, will be able to assist with convictions when she's back on shift. Oh, is this another census? Or my previous answers not sufficient? I could spend all day expositing on the benefits of the garden, but I think you'll experience much of it yourself. If you're permitted to stay, of course. Certainly. Here you are. Please imbibe responsibly.
Ooh, this is much easier on these old eyes of mine.
Guns locked and loaded. Just give the signal. Engaging. Hostile.
Welcome, intrepid consumer, to Auntie's Choice territory. The wonders of winter's grasp lay ahead.
Trooper.
Though do stay
Hayes.
on the road. The ice
Hayes,
cave
can you
conceals
hear me?
all manner of dangers.
Your family is depending on you. You gotta shake off these vapors, Manning.
Take whatever business you're running elsewhere.
What? Can't somebody loiter about a protocol without someone casting assuming glances their way? I know a presumptive look when I see it. You can't tie me to that. I'm just standing here. Oh, if you wanted to bribe me, you should have just led with that. Got just the thing. This little audio cartridge should do the trick. Those troops hear what they've been eating. I don't know what'll happen, but they won't be happy about it. I was sort of bragging to a colleague about the scam. How I tricked a gullible protectorate officer into purchasing and relabeling rejected grafting materials as Crabble rations. I can't take full credit or blame. I simply misrepresented misallocated materials for profit. I am merely a humble opportunist. Don't mention it to anyone, especially not those damn snoops at Winter's Grasp.
Whoa there! Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. As far as we can tell, order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. We scour rival facilities for hidden recipes, secret formulas, special ingredients, and assorted confidential internal know-how, then develop it into products to bring to market. It's a unique brand of warfare, exclusive to Auntie's Choice, designed to break incredible ingenuities out of cloistered captivity and share them across the galaxy. Information wants to be freed, then priced and shared along understood lines of commodification and distribution. Based on your reticence, I take it you're bound for unorthodox notion reclusion then. How exceedingly ill-advised. Yeah, well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or two with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later. Assuming you don't die, which in that case, we'll probably just retrieve it off your corpse. Either way,